Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be trying my hand at making homemade xylitol mints. So let's get into it. I've actually been interested for a while now in trying to make some do-it-yourself xylitol products, particularly xylitol mints at home. And I found a channel with a fellow creator who makes quite a few homemade xylitol products, including xylitol mouthwash, xylitol candy, and yes, xylitol mints. Her channel goes by the name Spirit Being Life, and I did ask her for permission in using and sharing her recipe, and she was nice enough to give me the go-ahead to do that, and I will link her original video on making xylitol mints down below. So just to let you know ahead of time, these mints won't look like commercial style mints because I don't have any molds to pull them into. These are going to be more of a rustic style mint, but they also won't have any of the additives that come in commercial style mints. These mints will have just what you're putting into them, and it is a very simple recipe. So the recipe that she used in her video was just xylitol granules or xylitol powder, whatever you want to call it, and peppermint extract. And she did say that you could omit the extract. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to make these mints purely out of xylitol. I'm going to be using Health Garden Birch xylitol, because that's what I have on hand right now for my xylitol granular swish and spit that I do every day. So that's what I'm using to make the mints. All right, so in our demonstration of making homemade xylitol mints, this has one ingredient, which is Health Garden Birch Xylitol. I have used a corn-based product before, Now Foods, but this is what I'm using right now for my xylitol swish and spit. So this is what I'm going to be using to make the mints. As I mentioned in Spirit Being Life in her video, she does actually also add in peppermint extract, but I'm going to just do it without any extract, and she said that that is something you can do. So I'm just going to do it with just the xylitol. She also does use a full cup of the xylitol, granules, crystals, powder, however you want to refer to it. But I'm actually going to be doing a half a cup because I've never done this before, and we're going to just see how it goes since this is my first time. So I'm using a half a cup. I'm going to pour that directly into a small saucepan. And then we are going to put this on low heat. All right. And she said to go ahead and cover that, and that the melting should start in about 4 to 5 minutes. So we're going to let that start to turn from granular form to a liquid translucent form. Okay, so in her demonstration, she said that things started melting. Her cup of xylitol started melting in about 4 to 5 minutes. Ours was a little faster than that, probably about 2 minutes, and that makes sense because we only did a half a cup versus 1 cup. As it's melting, you'll see that it starts to go translucent and then more and more clear, and you're going to, as you're stirring it, beat out any little bumpies that are in there to make sure that it is heating evenly and that you're getting a nice smooth result as you go. So we're at about probably the 6-minute mark, and we are pretty much all smooth here. I'm going to get about another minute or two and just make sure that we are fully clear and transparent, just like Spirit Being Life suggested, and then we're going to go ahead and pour it out. Okay, and so it's important to make sure that you have it completely clear. Pretty early on, it's going to start going sort of a translucent, but if you look, you'll still see areas where it's not completely melted. So you just want to make sure that it's completely clear. You're kind of going through. I'm using a rubber spatula here, and you're just wanting to make sure that there's no white parts or semi-transparent parts. You want the whole thing to be very transparent. Okay, and it looks like we are just about there, and we're going to pour this into our glass container that has been lined with some parchment paper to let this start to dry so that we can break it into mints. All right, so we've removed this from our heat. Be careful, this is quite hot, and you're just going to pour it into your container with your wax paper or parchment paper is what I'm using. And then you're going to let this start to dry and harden so that you can break it apart. So she said that best results, leave it for at least 24 hours. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to leave it alone that long. But so our total time to get this half cup of xylitol cooked down and ready for this part of the process was about 8 minutes. So it starts to, with a half cup, it started to dissolve or liquefy around 2 minutes, and then around 8 minutes is when we brought it over here and put it in our container to start to harden. A quick little tip that I would give you when working with the liquefied xylitol mixture is to work fast because it will start to cool very quickly as soon as it's off of the heat. So when you take it from the heat, you want to take it over and directly start pouring it onto that parchment paper in your container. Also, the little saucepan or whatever you're using to heat it, try to rinse that out ASAP because same reason, it will start to harden very quickly. So if you want to save that pan and be able to clean it, you're going to want to do that very quickly to rinse that out quickly. All right, so we're back, and this is about the 14-hour mark, letting our xylitol granules that we had melted down sit and harden. And this was for 1/2 cup of granules. So the total amount of grams of xylitol in this should be about 96 grams. So we're going to see when we break it up how many of our rustic style mints we get. So the way that I came to that conversion is that 1/2 cup contains 24 teaspoons. There are 4 grams in a teaspoon, so 24 times 4 equals 96. And I hope I did that math correctly. Okay, so this is my first time working with this. So we're going to just see what happened. In Spirit Being Life's video, she kind of just took this and broke it up. So that's what we're going to do. And it does break just like kind of like ribbon candy, sort of has that consistency. And, you know, as I forewarned, these aren't going to look like commercial grade mints. And just breaking these up. I don't know if you can see right in the middle, it isn't completely hardened, but I was still able to break those. And I'm going to see, I guess, based on the size and everything like that, we'll kind of just be sort of estimating how many grams may be in these. So I really wanted to try this at home because I know for so many of you that have contacted me on the channel, you just have trouble finding the mints and gum, or they aren't, they're not affordable when you add shipping and things like that. So, but many more people are able to have access to these xylitol granules, powder, sugar, however you want to call it. And so this does give you a possibility of being able to melt them down and make them into something that would be more portable. Just as a reminder, this is just xylitol. Health Garden brand to be specific. This has no additives. I didn't even put in the flavoring, the extract, the peppermint extract, but you can definitely do that. You could do other extracts as well. Maybe just play around with that and see how much you would need. In the video that I will be attaching below, she put one cup of xylitol in with 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed learning with me how to make our own xylitol mints at home without any added ingredients. Special thanks again goes out to Spirit Being Life for sharing these fun recipes. Please make sure to check her out. And please, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like down below, a comment, share this video with anybody in your friends and family circle who you think you could get something out of it. And as always, if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more content from me and my family, please consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming a part of the Low Key Life family. And until next time, bye.